Ladies and gentlemen of the internet, thank you so much for stopping by. My name is Kudou, and I will be your host for the evening. So, about a year back, I got into a card game called Weiss Schwarz, and when I first got into it, there weren't really any good tutorials out there that taught you most of the intricacies of the game. Yes, you can go to the official website and learn the basic rules, and there are some mediums of knowledge out there, but there weren't really many good video tutorials. So, what I am attempting to do is rectify that problem. I will be doing a series of tutorials that should teach you not so much the basics of how to play, but it should improve your game a little bit, especially if you're just starting out. It's going to give you some tips and tricks that should get you a little bit higher off the ground if Weiss Schwarz is something that you're already interested in. For this tutorial series, I will be using the Sword Art Online starter deck. Now, I have a few reasons for picking the starter deck to use. First off, I think this is an amazing starter deck to get if you're starting out. And now that this is coming over in English, in fact, the starter deck is already out in English if I remember correctly. I highly recommend if you're looking for a deck to get started with, get this one. Since it's in English, you should be able to find one with no problems whatsoever. It's got really good basic strategies to get you into the swing of things. It's a really powerful deck. I actually took a starter deck to a tournament and won 4 matches with it. So it's really nothing to sneeze at. And the reason being is because you can use the basic strategies to get into the swing of the game, and then when you're ready to advance and move on to more, I guess you could say, powerful strategies, then the deck is totally equipped to do that. So that's just what I'm going to be using for this tutorial, but what I say here should pretty much apply to every deck that you want to get. We'll be starting the gameplay next video, but for right now, I want to go over a few of the basics that I learned while picking this game up. If I can teach you some of these things now and get them really nailed into your head, then you won't have to learn the hard way, and it should really help your gameplay. So, first things first. Weiss is a game about reactions, not actions. You will hear me say this a lot, and that's because it applies to everything. Weiss is a game about reactions, not actions. And you might be wondering, oh, what does he mean by that? Here's what I mean by that. You have to pay attention to what your opponent is doing and react accordingly. This isn't a game where you can just throw all of your most powerful stuff on the field and expect it to win you the entire game. Yes, that will happen. Yes, you will have powerful things that the opponent cannot step over, but this is a game about reacting to situations that your opponent lays on the table. Your opponent puts things right in front of you and goes, here, what is your answer to this, this, and this? And this isn't a game like Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Magic or any of those other things where if your opponent puts down a 4,000 beat stick or if your opponent's got a super powerful 10-10 on the field, there's nothing you can do. There are ways around everything. No matter how powerful you think your cards are, the opponent thinks that their cards are just as powerful. So you have to be ready to react to what your opponent has, and you have to play smart. Let me put it this way. If you go in there with all your guns ablazing, then they'll know exactly which type of guns you have, how many of each type of gun you have, and exactly how far on a scale of 1 to 10 each gun is exactly considered blazing. I think I've actually run that analogy out quite well. Weiss is a game about reactions, not actions. Golden rule number 2. Every deck type is technically viable. Now, this is another thing that I really love about Weiss is whatever your favorite anime is, or video game, or whatever else you can find here, it is technically viable if your deck is created properly. Every deck that actually has a good structure, good combos, every decently built deck has a chance of winning. This isn't a game where you can create just one omni-powerful deck and it beats everybody. This is a deck where luck plays a huge factor, and how smart you play your cards also play a huge factor. Yes, there's a tier list. Yes, tiers technically apply here, but don't be discouraged to play your favorite anime just because you find out it's like tier 5. I actually read a forum post somewhere that gave me just the biggest smile ever because I think it is so true. Your waifu, tier 1. Everything else, tier 2. Just find something that you enjoy and find a way to make it play correctly. Maybe if all of this goes pretty well, I'll do some set reviews. Maybe I'll go through a few sets, find some decent cards, and try to teach you guys a little bit about how to make decks based on your favorite animes and so on and so forth. I don't know. We'll have to see how this goes. But anyway, with all that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and start making some stuff with actual gameplay. So, what have we learned today? Number one, Weiss is a game about reactions, not actions. Rule number two, every set is technically viable. Do not listen to tier lists that tell you that your favorite anime is garbage. With all that out of the way, I thank you once again for stopping by, and I do hope you'll join us next time, where we will start by looking at your opening hand. Yes, the game of Weiss starts before a single card hits the table, and I will teach you all about that next time. Catch you later.